Hi there, just out in the garden. I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on the garden railway. I've done a lot of progress, as you can see over there. It's actually come out reasonably well. But stick with me and we're going to take you on a little tour, and I hope you enjoy this, seeing the progress that I've done so far. Bonus feature, when I was digging out some of the material, I came across this. Might look like a pretty horrible piece of dirty rock, but there, quite shiny there, and it's got a corner there. That looks, it does clean up actually, but then this little sort of dished bit there, again with the white glaze, is the giveaway of what this used to be. And it's actually the corner of one of those oldie worldy 1920s sinks. So it's probably the original sink from this house when it was built. Nice little find, that. Just a shame I didn't find the whole sink full and complete, because they're pretty in vogue at the moment. Hi there, welcome along to another update on the garden railway, and I'm out here and I've actually come into a little bit of a problem. You can see here I'm test laying some of the track I've got, and I can see why people tend to go for narrow gauge in the garden, so something like SM32, because it would fit the topography most people have a lot better. So you can see here, to get O gauge curves that O gauge locomotives could get round, the radius is a bit bigger than I was anticipating, so I've had to move where I'm planning on putting the track, and it just makes it round here. It's quite worrying actually, because if we go, just get past here, we've got across the middle there, that's flexible track, so it will sort of kink around. But then I'm laying the curves round the back and it's hugging the fence. And this is the bit here. I did do a test run around this area before I started to do the landscaping, but it would now appear that the track is going to probably want to come round here. So I'm going to have to do a bit of pondering. This is the minimum radius recommended for O gauge locomotives in stock. I don't want to get buffer lock, got to be very careful about not introducing kinks. But I'm going to crack on and see what I can do. I've got to mark out this first so I know roughly where the track's wanting to go, and then I can take up this track and use it again round there, because that's all of the curved track that I've got. Now, I've got 12 yards of the flexible track coming, and there's also another yard in the house that the stock is currently sitting on. So what I might have to do is replace some of this with flexi track, just very carefully bent to the same radius. If the track bed is made to fit all this, then that should work. Just got to be ever so careful. But as you can see here, room for sidings, I should cocoa. I think they're going to have to move to inside the ring somehow, possibly with the use of left-hand points, which I've got some coming. But it's going to be a bit of a nuisance actually. O gauge takes up a lot more space than you'd think. Anyway, I'm gonna mark that out somehow, take the track up, and then see if I can get it round this tree. So there may be a need for a little bit more soil from the front. I hadn't really anticipated this. And this bit along here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe use some bricks to sort of put in a little bit of a retaining wall, but this is a nuisance. Right, well, I've made up a big curve and you can see here it's going to be right to the edge. I can probably pinch another inch, but that is tight, and follow it round at the other end, it runs the risk of being right up against the fence. So I think I can make it just about fit, but it just goes to show that measuring and not underestimating the radius of these things is, well, overestimating how tight they would go. It's quite a worrisome thing. So it's sort of going to fit, but it's going to be awfully close to the fence, and well, there'll be a bit more soil needs to come in for landscaping, but that's no bad thing. But in terms of sidings and stuff, I actually think I'm going to struggle, because I can't easily get sidings inside of this radius. The only other thing I can do is a sort of a kickback siding round and into there, but yeah, not really sure I want to put in loads of sidings just for the sake of it, so I'll have to have a think about that. I've got a load of points coming and might not really be able to use some of them, which is most annoying. I did want a passing loop through here, and just trodden on my wooden post there. It's just what I've put in there just to mark where the route has to go. So I think what I'll do is do the main roadbed and then see where I get to with being able to put in extra sidings, add them in as an afterthought. So you can see here now we've got some of that concrete put in, and this has been incredibly hard work, trying to get the levels right, digging out, building up in some places, mixing the concrete too, and as you can see, not quite done, but done an awful lot. And you can see through there where the track's going to go, I had to go right up to the fence. In some respects it's probably as well, because it'll just solidify everything being bonded to the concrete bottoms of the fence panels, but this took quite a bit of work. There's a lot of hardcore underneath there, but really hard graft to get this this far. And then sweeping around here, I'm just going to try and move back a bit so you can get a good shot. And I've had to build up a little bit of a wall, and as a part of the bricks have been breaking up for hardcore, just to build things up, and those pegs mark where the track will be going. What's clear is I'm going to have to move several wheelbarrows full of soil from the front. When the skip comes, I've just got to make sure that they don't put all of the soil in there and just leave enough to go over and build up some of this. I'm very surprised. I think in part some of it's settled, but also I've underestimated just how much I needed to build this up in places, and also to bed some of this concrete in. I'm just going to build up either side with more soil. This has become potentially an issue. I've got to ramp that up to that level across there, and I'm not going to concrete over all of it. I'm just going to do a narrow strip and then bury the rest with soil. And then over there I've still got to build up that retaining wall and then concrete in. That's probably going to be the biggest job of what's left, I suspect. And then round there, I'd originally built the ground up to the top of that piece, and I've dug most of it out because that's where the track needs to go, which is a shame in a way, but it's just the radius of this is so huge that for the O-gauge trains to get round without buffer lock, I've just got to maximise my use of the garden here. It's just really has become quite a big project. As for other track work, I'm not sure where I'm going. I think I've managed to pull off a save here, but one of my big worries is how steep it is around there, and it remains to be seen how well the O-gauge locomotives will take to climbing these gradients. There's a part of me worried that they will speed up and slow down. It'll be very difficult to set an appropriate pace for them. but I am going DCC, so these O-gauge locomotives may well be some of the first to get chipped, and it may be possible to somehow set a DCC locomotive to maintain a constant speed regardless of gradient, and that will of course be very, very helpful. But until next time, don't forget to like this video, share it too, and also subscribe to the channel, and you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. But thanks again for watching. It's always nice to have you along to stop in and see some of the progress here on this garden railway. It's become a Herculaneum task, but I'm getting through it. But really, this is hard work, and well, the sooner it's done, dusted, and everything's finished, and I can just sit back with a gin and tonic and enjoy the trains running, the better. Bye for now. Today's video has been brought to you in part thanks to the generous donation of my fans on Patreon. And a special huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Mark Anthony, Michael Churchwood, Mark McShane, and Bob 310. If you'd like to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk. Thank you. Today's video has been brought to you by my books, Bringing Home the Stars, Twinkle Little Star, and also you can get the complete comic collections of All Over the House, Books 1, Books 2, and also the wacky zany Life of Knobty Mouse. Thanks, and catch you later.